Now it should be warmer there than at our place. Subtitles by Dima Torzok. Dear friends, hello. I just approached the camera and the sun appeared immediately. It would have been really dark, but now it suddenly became so bright. I started messing around with the septic tank here. I'll show you what's going on. So I drove the stakes all the way down, as deep as possible. Well, they went about 40 centimeters into the ground probably and won't go any further. They're made from bird cherry wood. They say you need aspen stakes, but I couldn't find any aspen, so I used bird cherry instead. The mortar set well, but I decided to leave this wood here anyway. If it rots, then it rots. Or, I don't know, if I can pull it out someday, I'll pull it out. But for now I decided to leave it there. I started covering all this with soil because at first I planned to put a slab on top here. I also wanted to reinforce it and pour concrete over all this, about 10 centimeters thick. But you see what the weather is like. This year, it looks like I won't be able to do it anymore because we're already below zero. The temperature is below freezing. I don't want to risk anything with the slab. In the winter, I set the posts in freezing weather, yes, with mortar. This year, the slab is kind of a more serious step for me. If you step on it, it might crack all over and fall apart over time. That's why I decided not to take any chances. You can see a bit of a shadow there because I didn't pour the concrete all the way. It's about 15 centimeters short. Well, because I planned to pour it together with the slab and everything would be joined together. I wanted to make the slab and an access hatch. But the weather doesn't allow it, so I have to experiment and do it differently. I decided that now I'll pile up more dirt around here, make little mounds, so that when everything starts melting here, nothing will start flowing inside. So now I'll pile up as much dirt as possible around here and I'll cover all of this up. It's a shame I didn't make it in time, but what can you do? I have to do it this way for now. Well, alright, I need to put some kind of markers here. Maybe later I'll put up a fence, you know, those ropes, so the horses can't get in here in any way. I need to do all this properly. Well, and I think we won't let them out here anymore. I'll fix up this place properly too, so they never get access here. There. Now I need to cover all this up as well as I can to keep it warm. Well, I made a grid like this. I think it will easily hold up to everything I need it to. I remembered when I was insulating the roof of our house, well, not the roof, but the ceiling of our house, there were still some old things from the previous owners lying around there. Coats, jackets, fur coats, just a ton of stuff. I still have those insulation bags left, a whole bunch of them. Now we're going to put all this stuff right here.
lunch, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11.
Well, what do we have here? That's the kind of roof we have, you could say. It all seems to be sloped, so everything should run off it and flow behind these dirt ridges I made. In general, everything should be fine. These gaps here, maybe I'll have to plug them up too, or just throw some snow on top so snow doesn't get blown in there. In winter, it's unlikely anything will get very wet in there, at least not much, but as they say, we'll see, right? Yeah, now it should be warmer there than at our place. And the main thing is that all that smell building up in there doesn't get into our house. If something like that happens, we'll have to open it up again somewhere and maybe stick in some kind of pipe, for example. I have a piece of pipe like this. And stick this pipe in there. But it's too wide. We need something smaller so that all these vapors can go up. Basically, it's already usable. But to use it now we need to work on our extension. With this terrible, so to speak, scary and horrible mess. Here we have this huge hole left. Now it's time to fill it in with blocks. Even if I want to, it's a bit late of course, but it's still possible, because I'm going to insulate them anyway. Like if the mortar cracks somewhere, and here I only need to lay 9 blocks, roughly speaking, that's all I need to lay. Basically it's possible. I even have an additive. Look, I bought an additive for all this. So I'll make a door here to have, oh, horses. So I can have proper access here. There. So I can insulate the floors too. So I can do everything. Now I need to think about how and how far, va? I thought it had rotted away, but somehow it's still somehow holding things up. I poured a good foundation here. Water shouldn't seep under the door. It shouldn't get in there. All that's left is to insulate everything properly. Of course, it would be good to put some mortar into these holes here. Look. Well, I guess this year we'll just have to insulate it really well. Maybe spray foam it. Mice will probably get through that foam though. Alright, let's take a look now. You can immediately tell someone messed up, right? Who broke the good plastic jug, huh? How did you even get it out? Or are you teaching your son with this weird thing, huh, Sonny? Bandits, huh? Well, of course, whose poop is left here? Small ones. He went to nurse right away. He left the jug for about 5 minutes, I guess. Someone broke it and left a mark. Little poops, he really had a good time. Yeah, he's wild. I have an old chainsaw, pretty beat up, it's been through rain and so on, and it doesn't really work properly anymore. There's no chain brake on it. A tree fell on this chainsaw and broke the chain brake. There's no chain brake on it. I took everything off here. Next, the muffler fell off here and now it's just hanging loose. It needs to be welded back, but you can't do it properly without adding a lot of extra metal. And it's roaring like a beast, honestly. So next I decided to take this chainsaw and I pulled the cord and it just snapped right off. And it went back into the starter again. I've probably taken this chainsaw apart countless times over the past 3 years. Honestly, it's cheap. We bought it on sale for about 4,000. I think that's what I paid for it. And it has served us well for 3 years. But after that cord, that snapped. Oh, close it now. After that cord that snapped, I just ran out of patience. I had to dig into my stash that I was keeping. Oh. Like pizza. A new chainsaw. Oh, how little you need to be happy, right? In the end, I got myself a Steel MS 180. I've already worked with this chainsaw before. Uncle Gina brought it over, and working with it is just a pleasure. Well, I think everyone who uses a Steel knows. But it's up to you to judge and write in the comments what you think about this saw. If you use it, say what good things you have to say about it. So now we're going to start trying it out, testing it. First, I'll try to saw and cut up some wood just to test it a bit, and then we'll move on right away. Alright, let's go. Let's go. This is the kind of work I did today. Yes, the septic tank is buried, the septic tank is done, and I leveled the wall so that the wall was flush with these logs. This log here sticks out quite a lot, but I'll take care of it later in the future when I start working on insulation. Now I've leveled everything for the door, so this log goes a bit inward. Basically the logs shift around here, but that's how I did it. It seems rough, but it's nothing to worry about. You don't need to level this out, it'll all be covered with insulation later and nothing will be visible, but it'll be even. And on this side as well. Right here though, there's still some rot. Up to about this section. Well, I don't know exactly how much, but here it's starting to end already. I started chopping here, and in the center there's still a little bit left. And let me know in the comments how I should deal with this rot as well. Should I replace the log, or should I get to the spot where there's no rot and cut out all this rot? Or should I just leave it as is and soak it with something, seal it, because there shouldn't be any moisture getting in here in the future anyway. We'll seal all this up tightly, insulate it, and there will be paneling here later, so this log won't be visible. Is it okay to do it this way? I don't know. Like this, or should I remove it completely, or just leave it and soak it with something? I also leveled out the door frame. I'll need to insulate all of this later too, maybe with insulation. I think if I just use foam, the mice will probably chew through it if I fill it all with foam here. It's probably better to plug it with caulking fiber or something else, or just pack it more tightly with insulation itself. Right here I cut it perfectly with the saw, exactly level. Yes, the door. The doorway turned out really huge, of course. Looks like we'll have to make 2 doors here in the future. Well, that's how it turned out, more or less. We'll leave it like this for now. And in the next episode we'll finish all this, and I'll also start working on insulating the foundation. I'll start working specifically on insulating the blocks. That's because if I can, and we have some warm days, I can already start working a bit with foam, and maybe we'll even dig deeper into the ground. If we manage to get in there with a shovel, we'll get in there, so to speak. That's how it is. Well, dear friends, if you liked the video, give it a like and be sure to leave a comment. Well, it's time for me to say goodbye. See you again.